Happy night there, ravers. E Proxy here. Welcome to another episode of the E Proxy podcast with special guest VeeNobu. Introduce yourself. Say what's up to the people, man. How you doing?
First off, I just got to thank you for actually having me back on the podcast again. I know it hasn't been too long since the last one, but, it's always an honor.
Man, it's been way too long. It's always, as you said, it's an honor too, man, to have you on here because you're an awesome guy to talk to. And we're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. And it's going to be really, really good. And I'm glad to have you on this old podcast, man. So how's life been? What you been up to and stuff like that, man?
Pretty much it's been the same as it's been for probably the past few months now. And that's I'm working, training. My training regime is, I'll say, it's definitely gotten a bit more, a bit more intense. I'm now doing multi-rounds every day now after jiu-jitsu. Doing strength conditioning every day now, so it's pretty much a typical day for me. It will be work, teaching kids class, and then jiu-jitsu, and then about 5 rounds on the heavy bag with Muay Thai, then get home, and then strength conditioning. So it's, pretty much, I don't really do too much these days besides training and working, just trying to hone my craft in,
You're a very, very busy guy. Now, for your strength training, you want to kind of give us an idea of what you do for that when you get home for your strength?
All right, so I get asked this so often, and I can never actually fully explain it because I'm so unorthodox with my training methods. You see how unorthodox I am when I do jiu-jitsu or when I strike my weird style of training.
But it's effective, though.
It conveys that, huh?
It's effective, though.
Yeah, and my conditioning and my work I have is they reflect that fully. I don't have a set pattern. One session I'll probably be doing dips, push-ups, and then I'll actually use the dumbbell for probably barbell. Not dumbbell. Barbell. So I probably curl that a few reps and then just instantly get into some full body explosive tight. So it's wild, man.
That's what's up, man. That is what is up. Now, as far as the jiu-jitsu, do you feel like you've progressed or not so much progressed since your last tournament or since the last time you and I have trained? Do you feel like you're getting better, or is there something you're trying to work on right now?
I'm so glad you asked. So, to put it simply, I feel as though I am now at a point where I'm progressing every day. I'm even at the point where I should have been doing this a long time ago, but I now document the techniques that we're going over in class every day. I document the techniques that I teach my kids, and I document the techniques that is taught to the adult class. So
I got you. Okay, for those of you who don't know, when he says his kids, he means the children that he teaches in the children's jiu-jitsu class.
No, I mean my kids. They are my kids. Any kid who signs up for my jiu-jitsu class is now officially my kid.
I got you. I'm going to take a minute right now. I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat. Just a little roll call. So, Yuzi, welcome. Veronica, welcome. Turtles, welcome. Cleo, welcome. Timothy, welcome. Puppet, welcome. Baby, welcome. Let's see. Bailey, how you doing? Bailey says, yes, VeeNobu.
Hey.
What's going on, Wolves? How you doing? Cleo, how you doing? Cameron, how you doing? Veronica, welcome. Oh, man. VeeNobu, yes. Oh man. So you feel like you're progressing every day. That's a really good step. That's some steps that people don't even get to when they're jiu-jitsu life, if you will. I'm not even at that point. Of course, I haven't been doing it for as long as you have. Let's talk about the tournament you had last time, man. How long ago has it been? Not long ago at all. A couple weeks or something like that.
I think it's been like just 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it hasn't been long at all, and you're getting ready to go into another one. But I think that you're going to go through this next one like a breeze. But go ahead and tell us, how was the last tournament? Because like I was telling you before the podcast, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about that after it happened. I want to know about it, and I'm pretty sure everyone else here does too.
All right, so first off, I'll say that the last tournament was definitely my absolute best performance thus far. I competed in the Absolute Division for the New Breed. New Breed being the name of the tournament brand. And for those of you who don't know, Absolute Division is any rank, any weight. So, for example, I could go against someone who's about 300 pounds, and he could be a black belt. And that's just an extreme example of, the level of competition that you can face going into Absolute Division, because, as I said, it's whatever rank, whatever weight.
That's an extreme description of the division. I can't see you going against a 300-pound guy. I mean, I can, but Jesus Christ.
So, needless to say, I managed to exceed expectations, and I made it to the semifinals. So, first two matches, I didn't breeze through, but they weren't too much of an issue, and that's not to sound arrogant. That's just being realistic. They weren't very difficult. More so, they were very technical. Like this time around, this tournament was very, very skill-based, considering the level of competition I'm facing is constantly getting so smarter and smarter, getting more athletic, getting faster. It's just, I'm facing monsters at this point. Once you get to a high level of grappling, you're not going to face any easy competition. So you just kind of have to be a better thinker than you are an actual athlete. But after the first two matches were going, I started to get the jitters. I didn't have the jitters beforehand, but once I realized that, oh man, I'm really close to the finals, and I wasn't nervous up until the scorekeeper, who's actually a friend of mine. Actually, I know her personally, but she notified me that, hey, this is the match. This is the semifinals, and whenever this match moves on to fight for first place, and it's I really wish I wouldn't have known that, because once the scorekeeper said that, I instantly got the jitters, because it's like when you have a high level of excitement for something, it's like you just can't sit still, and that's why it feels like I was thinking in the back of my head, I hope this guy does not see my hands are literally shaking. Out of anticipation to one, compete, and two, the fact that if I win this match, I'll be in the finals of the Absolute Division. That's like, what? It was so unheard of, and I absolutely surprised myself in making it that far. But all right, so we begin the match, and I'm up against this Brazilian who
really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the ref actually notified me beforehand that, hey, I'm going to say some things in Portuguese, because he really doesn't speak English that well. I'm like, oh, guys, not only is it a Brazilian, it's legit Brazilian. You're up against someone bad when they don't even know English.
Yeah.
But no, he was good. It was pretty much a chess match. It was very, very, very slow paced. It was a very boring match. But because we pretty much neutralized each other's games. It was a pretty. I can't really say it was back and forth because it was pretty much both of us just me defending, him attacking, me attacking, him defending, and then towards the end of the match, I made one mistake and it cost me. He was able to establish a position, and for those of you who don't know, we get points in jiu-jitsu for transitioning to better positions or going for submission attempts. And that's I can't really get into the scoring right now, but the gist of it was he was able to score, and once he scored, that like if you're down on points in a grappling tournament and you're short on time to it's pretty much like God, you got to go for broke. So I pretty much went for it. I went at him like a grizzly bear, and it didn't work out too well in my favor. Time ran out, and that was it, 2-0. As I said, it was a very boring match. So, and once you get up to these high levels of grappling, you're not going to see scores of like 8-16 or 10-4. Nah, you're only going to see like 4-0 or like 2 points to 6. Like it's kind of like soccer. Like no one's going to score often, you know.
Exactly. This is also, most people, I don't mean to interrupt you, most people would say this is boring and stuff. That's simply because they don't understand it. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about Tyron Woodley and Wonder Boy. In the first fight, I think it was, because the second fight, it was the second fight because people said it was boring, but they were just aware of what could happen if they didn't stay protected. They had respect for each other. They knew, okay, this guy can knock me out, and the other guy said this guy can knock me out. It's because you guys know exactly what you're doing, and it's just the fact that the level is so common with you guys that it's like, I'm going to do this, and then you're like, wow, how did he know I was going to do that? Holy crap. So that's why you can't like get a lot of points on the board. It's not that it's boring, it's just the fact that it's really good jiu-jitsu game working together to make one perfect chess match. And you will only understand that if you've ever done a grappling match or if you do jiu-jitsu. That's the only way it would not be boring.
I fully agree. It comes down to these two guys hone their craft on a daily basis. Do you really honestly think they're going to sacrifice giving up either a position or putting themselves in a dangerous position for entertainment purposes? Some guys, they do that, but do you see those very entertaining guys at the top? No, because they're being inefficient with their movement, they're being inefficient with their thought process, and they're trying to be entertaining or flashy rather than efficient, and I hate to say it, but sometimes boring. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. When you have two high-level players I don't care what it is, I don't care what the sport is, you will not always see just balls out action, And you said it best, Proxy. That's pretty much the thought process that goes a lot of casual fans is that, oh man, God, they're not doing anything, they're just standing around playing patty cake or
Yeah. And it's just because those fans, they don't understand what jiu-jitsu people go through or any people in MMA go through. Most of those people have never even stepped on a mat before. They don't know what the mat feels like on their toes. They don't know what mat burn is or anything like that. So, I mean, as long as we live, there are still going to be people that are going to be out there saying this is boring. But it's like you can't really get mad at those people. You could just say, whatever, bro, Yeah, I mean, you're going to get mad and frustrated when you're like super tired and worn out and someone tells you that was boring even though you just went in there and just put everything into it, I mean, yeah, frustration's going to be there, but that's normal. So,
yeah, the thing about it is that I tend to forget just how kind of young mixed martial arts is in general, and all this grappling stuff is still relatively new to the Western audience. So it comes down to blatant ignorance at that, because people see all these movies or people grow up in the areas where they don't see this stuff. They don't see someone putting somebody in a lamp lock or something like that. see, they're not used to seeing people kick someone in the leg and it be effective for somebody. They see movies and they think to themselves, "Oh, that must be MMA too." And this guy's like deflecting this guy's punches and taking on like 3 attackers at once. It's like it gives a Western audience a kind of a misconception about what actually happens. So I can't really fault the general population on thinking the way they do. So it is what it is at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, it's the same. I can even say this before I started doing jiu-jitsu, and even with Muay Thai, man. Before the whole thing started, when I would watch fights, I was like, "Oh God, this is boring." That's because I didn't know anything about it. And then when I started doing it, I started realizing it. But we all grow up inside of this one box, and we're taught one thing, and that one thing is how everything is supposed to be. That's not only with MMA. That's with everything else. So, of course, people are going to think it's boring because they're thinking, okay, he needs to break his arm or he needs to break his leg. He kind of doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's extremely enjoyable to watch all forms of fighting out because once you've trained, once you've been on the mat, once you've gone through a rigorous training session and actually know the basic fundamentals of fighting or grappling, you start to really appreciate what's going on in a toe-to-toe fight,
Exactly, man. But
it's like,
well, continue?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, man.
No, you go first.
All right, so tell me, your next tournament, what are you looking forward to the most in this tournament? Are you looking for just to destroy everyone you go against? Are you looking to have fun? Are you looking for gold? What are you looking for, man?
So I've come to the realization that winning should not be your number one priority when you do go to competition. That was a very, very unwise mentality that I've had for the past few tournaments. Even though it's worked out in my favor a large majority of the times, it's not a good way to go about it. Like, you need to be there to at the end of the day, you need to be there to expand your game. You need to be there to take away everything you can from that experience to expand your craft. And that's what I've been doing. And I've always taken things away from tournaments, but I've always gone into it with the mindset of, I'm going to win. I'm going to, first place, taking all the belts. Carnage now, baby. I want all the belts. In this next tournament, to answer your question, the goal is to definitely win. Yeah, I know being a bit of a hypocrite when I say that, but come on, I want to win because at the end of the day, I'm trying to be a grappling world champion one day. So I need to really prove that I can compete with the top dogs, Exactly. I need to actually get noticed, I need to constantly put myself out there in BJJ competition to show that, hey, this is somebody who we should be looking at. This is somebody who we need to be representing our brand or competing at our venue, because this guy can actually become a top world contender one day. And I know I am, but it's just the building the foundation. It can be very frustrating at times, but I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to keep training hard. I'm going to hopefully continue to inspire all the grapplers around the world, all the athletes around the world, or whatever you're trying to do in life.
Yeah, man. It's like if you have a goal and you want to actually make that goal a reality, you have to keep going. You're either going to make it or you're going to die trying. It would be better to make it and then die. Not right after you make it, of course, but to be able to enjoy that. Like, I honestly, in your future, I can see sponsors lining up, to give you free stuff. I can see you up on top of that mountain because of the type of person you are. I know how your training regimen goes, and I know how you do. So I can actually see that being, something that's possible. And it's not like it's not me just saying that either. That's like reality right there. So.
Yeah, I mean, and what really adds fuel to my fire and my desire to reach the top is meeting people like you, like Jay, like my instructor. For those of you who don't know, Frank Muller is my life, who is also my life mentor. Surrounding yourself with such diverse and such positive, unique personalities really gives you an incentive on what you really need to be doing in life. And what you need to be doing is fully living to your absolute maximum potential. Like, you cannot. I've realized over time that, man, if when you want something, it's just not gonna happen unless you really want it to. Kind of like all the losses I've endured in jiu-jitsu, I've realized if you can go in there thinking you're gonna win every match, but man, it really hits you when you lose, and you think to yourself, man, just thinking about it was not gonna get me that win. It's not gonna fall out of the sky,
True. Unless you get struck by lightning and turn into Neo,
Or, yeah, in that case, it's like, see ya. going to Tokyo or somewhere.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be pretty disappointed if you come back from the next tournament and you don't have someone's leg with you. With that being said, what's the submission you're going to use to rip off someone's leg in the next tournament?
It's so funny that you say that, because I've been getting roasted so hard for not pulling off this submission in my most recent tournament, where it was like right there. I didn't get, like, it was people just right there dangling, and I was not able to get the heel hook, toe hold, none of that. And God, I got roasted so hard for it. So it's so ironic that you say that. So with that said, I feel like rather than someone's leg, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit a toe of some sort.
Well, you better bring back a toe and some feet.
I'm going to bring back a foot for you. Like that episode of Paris of Cali when had that fungus foot.
Oh, God, I remember that. Oh, man. So is there anything you want to add to what we've been talking about before we go on to the next topic? Anything about jiu-jitsu? Anything you want to say to the people, or anything that you may have left out about the last tournament or this tournament coming up, or any training or anything?
No, but I am going to give a quick shout-out to this gentleman named Tony Quagliata. Tony Quagliata, for those of you who don't know, is Matt Serra black belt. And for those of you who don't know, Matt Serra, he's an ex-UFC welterweight champion. But with that said, Tony came and visited our dojo, and he didn't stay for long. It was literally just 1 week, but he was able to instill so much information in me, not just as a grappler, but as a person. And I just want to give a quick shout out to him, and we can move on from there, brother.
Huge shout out to Tony. I met the guy once, and I cannot wait to train with the guy. It's going to be phenomenal, and it gives me chills thinking about it. It really does. Boy.
Agreed.
Man. All right, so on to the next story. You ready for this, V?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right, a babysitter or babysitters trap a baby in a fridge for Snapchat. I'm going to go ahead and read you the story, and I want you to tell me what you think about this. All right, you ready?
Well, so I might as well be ready.
Okay, so 2 teen babysitters were arrested Tuesday after they posted Snapchat videos of them putting a 7-month-old baby inside of a refrigerator. In Massachusetts on Monday evening, 2 teenagers were watching a 7-month-old baby while its mother was in the shower. In the first video they posted to Snapchat, it showed the 2 girls, one being the baby's cousin, putting the baby on a shelf of the fridge, closing the door, and laughing as the baby screams. The next Snapchat video shows them laughing again and opening the fridge to reveal the screaming child. Police are unsure how long the baby was in the fridge, but say that no injuries were reported. The 2 babysitters were arrested and charged with assault, child endangerment, and battery with a dangerous weapon after the video was reported to the Department of Children and Families. The children's mother, Bonnie, said she was horrified when she saw the video.
"I'm traumatized from that. I don't want anyone near my children anymore," she continued. "I know she wouldn't hurt my daughter, and that wasn't her intentions. I think it was all foolishness, stupidity. I will no longer be leaving my children with my niece or her friends again, ever in my life."
Unfortunately, there has been an influx in the stories of young people documenting mindless things for purposes of social media. We're not even sure that these girls knew the seriousness of their actions as they were doing it. But there is something to be said about wanting to document a mistress and think it's humorous in any way. So what do you think about that?
Hey, Proxy, let me stop you right there, and and let me ask you to kind of adjust your audio just a bit, bro.
Can you not hear me?
Oh, there we are. Like, it started to get extremely muffled.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Like, I missed about the last paragraph of that.
Well, what was the last part that you heard, man?
When you were impersonating the mother.
Oh, okay. I think I did a pretty good job of that. What do you think?
I actually, for a second, I thought you had started playing the video. I was like, is that a video?
Oh, man. But basically, it says, unfortunately, there has been an influx in the stories of young people documenting mindless things for the purposes of social media. We're not even sure that these girls knew the seriousness of their actions as they were happening. But there's something to be said about wanting to document mistress and think it's humorous in any way. So, is there anything you want to say about that? Those stupid little girls doing that?
Okay, so it's one of those things that you see so often, but it's not always reported in the news. Like, when you're on the internet as much as me, you see a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure the audience watching us now can attest to this, that you see a lot of child cruelty happen on a multitude of videos.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people like will upload just the most heinous things that they're doing to young toddlers, young children, and oftentimes laughing about it. And I think that just comes down to just some sort of deformity within that person's brain, or some type of, I don't know, unresolved anger within them to do such a thing and not feel any remorse.
And I know it's just a refrigerator, but I mean, putting a little baby in a refrigerator is still bad, you know. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people saying, but it's just teenagers, they're so young. Okay, first of all, when you're a teenager, you know you're not supposed to do stupid stuff like that. And, you know, well, I mean, in my case, you know, if you do stupid stuff, you get smacked really, really hard. And then you'll be like, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. But nowadays, with this generation of children, you don't have the discipline that you had back in the day when I was a small child. Because nowadays, children are a really bad word I can't say on YouTube right now. but it's like seeing how most children are. It kind of like it makes you want to set kittens on fire most of the time. You know, I wouldn't do that though. But disclaimer.
For legal reasons.
Yeah.
Video flags.
Disclaimer, I don't burn kittens. But, okay, to all the young people, don't put children in the refrigerator. Don't put children in the microwave. Don't put children in the oven. Don't do anything bad with children that would result to them and, result to their death or whatever. I'm really sleepy and I can't think of things to say. So,
well, okay. What it is we have to look at that situation and we have to ask why. What compelled that particular individual to do that to that baby? I'm not justifying it because it's wrong.
Yeah.
But I seriously hope that someone really looks into this, the psychological well-being of these individuals, and ask them, hey, what's going on up there? Like, hey, like, is that hamster wheel like fully spinning? Does it have a few missing legs on it or something like that? You know, like, I can't quite fathom or even begin to comprehend. Like, God, it's baffling to say the least. I mean, how do you process something like that?
Well, I think that since they put it on Snapchat, they were doing it to get more views or to have more people like them. I don't know how Snapchat works. I've never used it before. I don't know if you get followers or whatever like that. I do Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You know, that's pretty much, and Facebook, of course. But the thing about it, I think they were just trying to do that to gain a bigger audience, but that's like the wrong thing to do. Okay, an example of good things to do to gain a bigger audience would be like stuff that I would do for YouTube. I would set myself on fire. I would shave my eyebrows off. I would electrocute my nipples. You know, that's all healthy, family-friendly stuff I would do on YouTube. But I'm not going to put a baby in the refrigerator, though. You know?
See, and it comes down to the age as well. Like you mentioned, people are going to say, hey, yeah, they're just teenagers. And, yeah, you're right, that doesn't justify the actions. But we have to look at the idols in which they've come to grow up on. And you see people like what's her name? The Catch Me Outside chick.
Oh, God. Danielle something. She is a... Oy.
Yeah, you see that, for example. Everything that she's been in the media for has been negative.
Yeah.
But yet, she became rich off of it. So, of course, the younger generation looks at that and think, oh, man, all I have to do is just, do stupid stuff or, not try to do anything positive, but all I have to do is do something stupid, make a video out of it, and then, boom, fame or viral, because it seems like anything goes viral these days.
Yeah, I mean, just about anything. You're right about that. Okay, speaking of Miss Catch Me Outside, listen, guys, gals, ravers, young people, when you're growing up, please develop good grammar, all right? Don't sound like a moron. And for the love of God, please spell words the correct way. If you're too young right now and you can't, at least learn to spell the words the correct way. I'm not saying that because I'm a grammar. I can't say the word right now because of what's going on. I'm not.
Oh my God!
Yes, because I'm a grammar bad person. But we're gonna get to that too. That's the last topic. So, okay, before we move on, is there anything else you want to say about these teenagers and the baby in the fridge?
No, other than this is something that's going to continue for an extremely long time, and it's going to get better with time. But this is going to constantly keep reoccurring, and I don't see any end to it in the near future. But that's pretty much just how the cookie crumbles with that.
I don't see it ending while I'm still alive. I'm gonna hold on. Joshua, welcome to the stream. Turtle said children are our future. Well, I mean, it's a very scary future because children that are the future, not all of the children, most of the children are morons. So,
You say that?
I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Most of them are because of the type of household they're going to grow up in, or that type of household they're growing up in right now. And as long as the children can grow up and develop a sense of mind of their own to help them get out of that that's the children that can't get out any other way because their mother's not helping them, the father's not helping them or anything like that. If they can develop that mindset to get out of that, good for them. But for right now, I fear the future.
As do I. But I have to add one more thing.
Okay.
Now, for some reason, like, I would say the current teenagers in our generation now, those can be considered the quote-unquote morons. But the younger generation, the 5 and 10-year-olds, I've noticed a trend where these young kids seem to be getting very smart at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very, like, I encounter young kids these days, being a kids instructor, I've seen a multitude of kids, and these kids are extremely smart. Like, I know I was smart as a kid, but no, these kids take the cake, man.
I feel you,
and
man.
They're taking more incentive into their education, even though they don't realize how important it is right now. They're still so willing to learn this multitude of information we have. And with the internet, I feel like it only increases the speed in which they're going to learn things. And I like that. It actually gives me hope for the next generation,
I mean, that's a good point. And also, another thing, the internet is more of a bad place than it is a good place because of how wide it is. Now, that's just only, the small percentage of the internet that we can access. Of course, you still have the dark web out there, which is a very, very scary place. And that's the other percentage of the internet which makes up all 100%. Right now, the internet is like, it's a huge place, but we can't access all of it unless we go on the dark web. Which is, oh man. You can look up videos about the dark web, and it's some scary stuff. So is there anything else you want to add to that, man?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the deep web. Yeah, the deep web, for those of you who don't know listening, it's pretty much where anything goes, anything is sold, human trafficking, you name it. I recommend just doing what E Proxy said, looking at videos, but whatever you do, don't Google it. You never know what may pop up. Just by Googling deep web opens up a list of unwanted things.
And listen, that is the one place that you will get hacked. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, because in there, you're not protected. That's why most people that go there have different routers and stuff. I'm not going to tell you the kind of routers you need because you don't need to even worry about that. So, yeah, but we're actually going to cover a story after the one I'm going to talk about next with regards to the deep web. So, but first, let's get into the next topic. You ready for the next one, man?
Oh yeah.
All right. On a lighter note, Cheetos is opening up its first ever restaurant in NYC.
Wait, did you say Cheetos?
Cheetos. The restaurant,
Cheetos?
Yep. Cheetos, like the chip, Cheetos.
You have to say the chips, right?
Yep. It's going to be called the Spotted Cheetah.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is. Let's see. No, it's going to be a full menu with Cheetos. Like, let's see.
Cheeto burger.
Cheetos crusted fried pickles and creamy ranch. Cheetos grilled cheese and tomato soup. Cheetos meatballs. perfectly fried green tomatoes, breaded with white cheddar Cheeto crust, flamin' hot and white and cheddar mac and Cheetos mix-up, crusted chicken, spicy Cheetos nachos, flamin' hot lemon chicken tacos. Man, that's just like some of the stuff on the menu they're gonna have. It's insane.
Yeah, that stuff actually doesn't sound too bad on paper.
And I mean, it's awesome, but you gotta think, okay, goodbye to my arteries.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, but it would totally be worth it for one day at least.
It's insane. It really is. Let's see. It doesn't really say who created it, but it's supposed to be opening August 15th to August 17th. I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, this is when I saw this, I was like, I gotta bring this up. It's not gonna be a super long story, but I like Cheetos, and I'm pretty sure everyone else in America does, unless you're not, unless you're like, God, there's so much stuff I can't say right now. I'm limited so bad. Oh, the drama in the U.S. is just messing everything up. Unless you're a big whiny diaper person, you don't like Cheetos.
Ouch, man. That hurts me, but
Dang it!
No, but I don't eat Cheetos, but personally, Cheetos were awesome back in the day.
Oh, they really were, and they still are too. So, I mean, they need to open up a big franchise of that. You know what? The other day at work, we made, it was a sushi roll, and usually we have a roll called the crunch roll. In this roll, we have imitation crab, spicy mayo, and we have what we call crunch flakes. All it is tempura batter that we deep fry to turn into crunchy flakes that taste really, really, really good, by the way. And we roll that up and we top that. We put the crunch flakes on top of the rice and we cut it. What we did, we replaced the crunch flakes with Cheetos, and then we topped it with Cheetos with cream cheese on the inside of it, and it was phenomenal. Of course, the taste of the Cheetos was overpowering, but it was still pretty good. That's simply because I like Cheetos. So what do you think about this whole restaurant opening it up, man?
It sounds like one big stomach ache.
Well, of course, man. That's the beauty of it.
Like, I can, just imagine looking at myself in the mirror that next morning, oh, man, all that sodium. But then again, I'm so health conscious to the point where, of course, somebody like me is going to say that. I don't see it. Actually, you know what? Would you say New York City, right?
Yeah, NYC.
Yeah, it'll be a hit. I mean, this day and age, people are always curious to try something new. So, who's to say it's going to flop? I think they got a pretty good shot. And plus, Cheetos. Just the name Cheetos embodies good quality thoughts, like good flavor. Boom. You think of Cheetos, you think, tasty. So.
Very tasty. Very tasty. Here's another really, really fun story. So, a one-armed clown wielding a machete was arrested after terrorizing a town in Maine.
Are we still on Killer Clowns?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it was...
This is getting ridiculous now. Was it a real machete or was it...
It was a real machete. It was a real machete, and it really was a one-armed clown.
Alright, so he probably would have gotten a slap on the wrist had it been back in the splurge of multiple clowns popping up all over the U.S., but considering I don't think anyone else is still doing that, so there lies the problem. It's over, man. Like the guy said from Alien, the Alien movie. Game over, man. No, game over. The meme is dead, my friend.
I don't think it'll ever be over, to be honest with you, man. I mean, people are still going to do that and everything, and it was going on with regular clowns, but now we're moving on to the one-armed clown era.
See, and that's the weird thing. It was just pretty much this guy's just trying to be creative with it. I'll take away a limb. That'll add to the horror effect, you know. But come on, man. Like, come on. There are kids around. Probably you might scar someone for life. Somebody might have an insane fear of clowns, like my mother, for example. So I'm kind of. I'm not triggered, but I am kind of, offended by that. Because it's like, come on, like, some people will take that to the extreme. You might get shot. You're lucky you weren't shot or assaulted, you know?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. So, on to the next topic. This is something that everyone needs to hear. I mean, in my opinion anyway, because there are a lot of people that are really bad about doing this. Now, here we go. So, basically, there is a teenage girl that was executed after grabbing her phone in the bathtub. Her name was Madison Coe. A 14-year-old girl from Texas died after being electrocuted by her phone while she was taking a bath.
Sounds like something off of Final Destination.
Okay, first of all, being in the bathtub is not the place you want to be whenever you want to try to look at your phone. I know a lot of people do it. You know, they just sit there, they soak in their little tub, and they want to check on their widow Instagram and their widow Facebook and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't, just, okay, this is like, don't play with your phone while you're in your tub, okay? The tub is there for you to relax and bathe and stuff. Your phone's not going anywhere. Now, I know, V, you're really bad about, messing with your phone while you're in the shower. I remember you telling me how you broke your record, how you had 2 phones at the same time while you were taking a shower.
One was playing music, the other one was for social media. Oh yeah, God, I remember them days, man. Yeah, I've gotten so much better. But okay, to add to that, I want to blame the manual. I'm about to say manual. I want to blame the manufacturer of the phone itself. Like, let's be honest. Maybe it's not in the label that it's waterproof, or it's probably not supposed to be waterproof. But still, the fact is, this 14-year-old girl lost her life, and I feel like they should have took more priority in kind of ensuring that some people would be doing that, so they would take more precaution and make the phone not have that kind of reaction when it hits water or something like that. But that's not the blame deal. It's a 50-50 kind of blame deal, I hate to play devil's advocate, but at the same time, I want to kind of put a little blame on the phone manufacturer.
I mean, that's true and everything like that, but everyone knows that every piece of electronic out there is capable of producing electricity when introduced to water. I mean, when I was younger, I was really bad about testing myself, becoming hardcore, and just dropping toasters in the tub with me. I broke so many toasters, and my mother was so pissed because I would always trip the breakers. I never died because of how hardcore I got. Now, after a certain level of brain damage, I stopped doing that because I didn't want to die.
Okay, let's pause here. Are you being legit? Like,
no.
Everyone, take a moment and, just, listen to what E Proxy just said. If you guys could see my facial expression right now, it would probably be a me. God.
Yeah, that was a lie. Yeah. So, but okay, in rule, don't play with your phones while you're in the tub. Take care of the business in the tub and then play with your phones. Your phone's not going anywhere. Don't worry. Your phone loves you and everything. Don't die. Stay alive so you can watch more E Proxy games. All right. So,
or some more My Hero Academia.
Yes. So you guys can... Don't forget to go subscribe to VeeNobu also, all right? You can go to my page, and he's going to be on my my referred channels over on the right side. Click directly on his name. You'll be able to find him there. Go subscribe to him. Show him some love. Like every one of his videos, okay? Leave a comment. We love you on every one of his videos, too. So, yeah. Also, huge shout out to John from Artisan Craft for the banner, the E Proxy logo that you're looking at right now. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. You can also find this logo on the t-shirts on E Proxy's merchandise. Go to cottoncard.com, search E Proxy Games, and you can find all the merchandise, hats, mugs, t-shirts, all that good stuff, man. So, are you ready for the next topic here, man?
Well, yeah, after that commercial, that short commercial break right there, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to talking about the dark web for a second. When I read this, I was like, how in the world does this even happen? You know? But then again, I remembered, okay, it's the dark web, anything can happen. What's funny, VeeNobu? What's funny?
I can't help but think that somebody is in your watching this now. It feels triggered. Like you saying dark web instead of deep web, and in the back of their head, they're like they want to type it and just say it's deep web, not dark web. This is Yu-Gi-Oh. It's kind of making me question, why are you calling it dark web?
The reason. The reason is simple. When I first learned of the deep web, I started reading articles and stuff about it, and it's actually a pretty scary place to be. And ever since I read the articles and watched the videos, I would call it the dark web, because that's actually the one place that I really never want to go, because of how the videos and the stories make me feel. So it's always going to be called the dark web to me.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. That makes sense.
Everything is clear. Okay, so on to the next thing. Do you have anything to say about... Wait, we were talking about Cheetos last, I think. But do you have anything to say about the stuff that we just talked about before I head on to the next topic?
About the girl or about the dark web? I mean, the deep. God dang it! Got me saying about the dark deep web.
About anything, man.
I just want to point out that I'm just going to reiterate this. E Proxy said it best. You don't want to get tangled up with the deep web, because there will be legal repercussions if it is found that you even have managed to find access to the deep web, because it's not something easy to actually get into. Right, so just know that if you're that curious and you actually do find a way to access the deep web, there will be legal action taken against you.
Very, very true. You guys make sure you...
Not only that, scarier is that somebody might get your IP address, hack your computer, like E Proxy said, get your bank information, get your personal ID information, social security number, all that, and just absolutely destroy your life from there.
Most definitely.
You know what? It's starting to sound more like dark web. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, with the story I'm about to tell, you know, it's gonna sound even more like it. This is just one story out of the hundreds of thousands out there. So, anyway, model narrowly escapes being sold into sex slavery by dark web gang. A British model by the name of Chloe Ayling, I think is what her name is, narrowly avoided being sold into sex slavery at an auction thanks to one of her Instagram photos. Okay. Oi. Females and Instagram, I tell you. But, all right, anyone with their Instagram. Instagram isn't really a place you should be posting pictures of yourself that's going to make people want to sell you or buy you for an auction for sex slavery. Even Instagram is accessible on the dark web by anyone. This girl was about to be sold by an organization known as Black Death on the sex slave market on the dark web. Now, I mean, even talking about this right now, I'm like, okay, I'm live right now on YouTube. Let's see what's going to happen. that's basically with the rest of the podcast. That's how I'm going to be, but I'm just going to do it anyway because it's stuff I want to talk about. So if anything happens, it happens. So basically, she had a picture on Instagram, and people thought, "Hey, this looks good. We're going to try to purchase her, and we're going to sell her at an auction." And this is again a gang, quote unquote, on the dark web. It's not anything too gruesome or anything like that. So, but let's see. The abductors drugged her with horse tranquilizers. They handcuffed her, taped her mouth shut, and stuffed her into a large suitcase. The case was placed into a car boot. She was then driven 2.5 hours west of where she lived, in a village. When she woke up, she was wearing only a pink leotard, her underwear, and socks. She said the two men took her from a car and handcuffed her hands and her feet to furniture inside a small 2-story farmhouse. So, what do you think about that, man?
That is some heavy stuff right there. Like, this ties back into what we were talking about earlier with the young kids being abused. Like, this is stuff that's happening all the time, but when it hits the news, and unfortunately for the girl, she made it out of that situation. It's like, God, it's sick to know that humans are evil, man.
Well, dude, the abductor, man. He looks like just a scrawny, everyday little white dude that you would just see walking down the street. You can't even tell. And that's the scary thing. You can't tell. Oh,
pretty much it's usually always like that. Like they say the best the best thieves dress the nicest, or the most sinister people are look the most elegant, and it's so true,
Yeah, but he turned out to be a Polish man. The guy's already been captured. He turned out to be a Polish man that lived in Britain. His name was something that I cannot pronounce. Lukas Paul Herba, bro.
Yeah, I guarantee you're butchering it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I don't apologize for butchering this guy's name. He's a pig. Let's see. Italian police have arrested a 30-year-old who was described as a dangerous fantastis on suspicion of kidnapping and extortion. Oh man.
Well, wait. What kind of model was she? Was she a fitness model?
She was. Let's see.
No. Let me ask you another question. Was she the was she the yoga pants, constantly doing squats from the back angle picture taking a model?
I'm not sure what kind of model she was. I just know it said that she was a model. I'm not sure what picture was put on Instagram to make this guy go crazy or whatever. But
well, it's like when it comes down to it, and this is not to sound sexist or anything, is that a large majority of females know they have it easy on Instagram because they know they can generate a large amount of following using their bodies. And
very true. They do the wrong thing to generate views.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
And it's a reality that at first it's like, she's just, using her body to get all this attention. And then after a while you realize that's exactly the case. It's like you start to see a trend. Like, as a guy, it's like, man, let me go to the boobs and wear a low-cut top. I have 1 million subscribers.
Hey, here's what I want you to do, VeeNobu, okay? I want you to just, make a video of yourself wearing your bra and see how many views you get.
You know what? It just might work viral.
But, The she's okay. She was returned unharmed, if you will. So that's a good thing. But we're going to go on a lighter note right here. So you ready, man?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
At this point, my mind's already fried from all of the Black Void stuff.
Okay, so on to a lighter note. Okay, North Korea and the USA are kind of going crazy right now. As tensions rise between the United States and North Korea and the threat of a nuclear attack grows, everyone is asking themselves one question. What's going on, man? Why is this happening? North Korea and the U.S. We've been hearing things about stuff going on with North Korea, how they have like all these crazy weapons and stuff like that. Quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing old Kim Bong Wong Tong or whatever his name is talk and stuff. You know, I mean, I don't care what they're saying over there. We have missiles, bro. We have missiles too. I don't care. So, I mean, I don't know what's going. I don't know. I guess he wants more Twinkies and we're not giving them to him. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, did you say Twinkies?
Yeah.
So, the tension between the U.S. and North Korea is just, I choose just not even follow it, because at the end of the day, this so-called quote-unquote tension is going to be for the next few years without any action from either side. That much I can guarantee you, because no one's going to lift a finger near that button to shoot a missile off. No one's going to jump the gun first, man. Like, at the end of the day, both sides do not want a war.
Oh, most definitely, because if there was a war, there would be no more of, like, I wouldn't say no more of the world left, but that would just destroy so much stuff, man. Much stuff.
What's the quote that goes, if World War III happens, then we go back to what era did they say? Something.
I let's see. I want to say I don't want to say Hiroshima.
Good God.
That was some bad. I think they used napalm in Hiroshima. I'm not sure, or I don't know, something. I think they were gonna go back to the caveman era. No, I don't know.
The Stone Age. Good God.
Oh man, but okay. So, little Kim or whatever your name is, calm down. Okay. Yeah, just sit back, eat a sandwich, enjoy your life as being a tyrant. You know, realize that nobody cares and that everybody is just afraid of you over in your country. I mean, you take
communism.
Yeah, it's
fine.
It's all real, man. You know, it's crazy. So,
oh, trust me, he's eating plenty of sandwiches.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The people over in North Korea, I feel so sorry for them.
Can we have a sandwich, sir?
No!
But you have Daddy.
We got Majin Buu in the office over there. No! Kim Jong-un sandwich.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so real quick, we're going to go on to the last topic. This is the, I don't know, this is like the touchy subject real fast. But before we go into that, we're going to go ahead and say hi to new people in the chat and just catch up on everything like that. Bluewood, what's going on? Welcome. Good to see you. Master John, welcome. Dragon Slayer, welcome. How goes the life of everyone in here? Okay. Anyway, let's talk about this. Charlottesville, man. This drama we have going on. This is some crazy stuff right here. crazy. Have you been keeping up with any of it or what?
I've seen clips, bits and pieces there. I honestly haven't delved too deep into what's going on over there, but pretty much at this point, everyone knows what's going on.
I heard about it, but I didn't know anything about it until I was just watching a small video. It was an advertisement, actually, video for HBO on Facebook. And this happened to be this Charlottesville thing. I had no idea that HBO already has a documentary on it. Yeah. There's this college girl that is going, she basically does video documentaries, and you get to see what goes on. And it's crazy. It really is, you know. Now, the thing that we're going to talk about, they said that it turned bad once the it says a man rammed a car into an anti-racist protesters in Virginia. And they said that's when everything just got crazy. It said it turned violent in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday as white supremacists clashed a counter demonstrators and a car plowed into the crowd of anti-racist and anti-fascist protesters.
I'll stop you right there. You're being muffled again. So it sounds like someone's putting a cloth over your mouth.
Okay, I'll read it again. I'm sorry, I was coughing there. I got a little something in the chest there. I can feel the cold coming on, but I should have got medicine today. But oh well, today is gone. Protesters turned violent in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday as white supremacists clashed a counter demonstrators and a car plowed into a crowd of anti-racist and anti-fascist protesters. So yeah.
It just puppets. I can't. There's absolutely nothing to gain out of that uproar, out of this group of white supremacists doing violent acts. There's absolutely nothing to gain. You have a few figures behind the scenes, definitely pulling the strings, definitely organize something in which would make a lot of noise in terms of to work in their favor. I can't just see this random group of white supremacists going and doing this for just because they think they'll get noticed. No. Like, maybe people are that stupid. I know some people that are stupid, but not in this case. This is too random. This is too out there, you know. So
I'm actually wondering what actually did start it, man. I mean, I don't know much about it. I just know what I saw, and what I saw was just crazy. It really was. I mean, okay, these are my beliefs. If you want to be gay, be gay. If you don't want to be gay, don't be gay. It doesn't matter. If you're black, you're black. If you're white, you're white. If you're Mexican, you're Mexican. If you're Jewish, you're Jewish. If you're Asian, you're Asian. So what? You have so many people with just hate in their heart. And there's just so many people out there that they are, I call them, hidden racists. They won't show their true colors until something happens. And then they'll be like, oh man, wait, why am I hiding this? And then the demon comes out. And it's crazy, you know? Say what?
No, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say these white supremacists, they go on and they act like Nazis and stuff like that. They're like, we're doing it for Hitler and all this other stuff. Bro, I want you to go back and I want you to rewind time. Go back to World War II and stuff. I get in your time machine. Go back to the World War II era. And I want you to just go play cards with Hitler and see how Hitler acted. That's what I want you to do. In Germany, if they catch you with a swastika, they send you to either jail or prison. Yeah.
to add on to that, Hitler was definitely a genius. I hate to put any type of positivity towards his way, but speaking from a unbiased standpoint, regardless of what he did, he was definitely an influential figure, and he was able to get this mass cult following and become leader of Germany, and to get people to follow what he said to the T. He must have had something special about him. You could definitely take notes from Hitler, but that separates his influential ability from his ideals. Don't get it twisted. He was a sick and very twisted man. Needless to say, these white supremacists want to feel the need to justify what they're doing to amass cult following, just same as Hitler did, but they will not. It's sorry, we're too far down the line. You're just making noise at this point. Nothing's going to change. Life is going to continue. We're going to wake up the next morning, and it's still going to be one, quote unquote, united nation. I'm sorry that. Sorry if you missed the old days when it was North, South, Confederate, Union, whatever. Sorry, those days are gone, man.
They really are, and the thing about it, this is like decades and decades and decades have passed by, and we still have racism. It's always going to be a huge thing. It was more of a thing when I moved here. It was more of a thing. That's just what I'm saying. Now, I got something to say. The car that rammed into all those people killed 32-year-old Heather Hare. If I said her last name incorrectly, I apologize. And they also injured 19 other people. So, I mean, there's really no point to have that happen. And the fact that it did happen is pretty stupid. You know, somebody died from that. There shouldn't have been protests going on in the first place. And the fact that somebody died is just going to create more people to be mad about it. And they have a right to be mad about it too. This is like, it's going too far, man. You know?
Well, to intervene right there, America does not have a hold on its civilians like other countries. Our Freedom Amendment pretty much gives us the rights to do a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So when you have this gathering out of nowhere to have this quote unquote protest, there's no order. You can't just get these people and say no, go back to your house, because we don't have a government like that. We don't have a system of power like that. It's pretty much, it's not Wild Wild West, but hey, America doesn't exactly restrict its citizens in the least bit, other than laws. Other than that, don't break the law. You can pretty much express yourself any way, shape, or form, which is a good thing and also a negative thing, because tempers are going to flare, people are going to defend it, then fights ensue, and then people get killed. Wow, that.
Exactly. I mean, okay, for an example, the white people shaving their head, claiming to be Nazis. That's a bad thing. I don't understand, and the reason I don't understand is simply because that's just not me, you know? I've never been that type of person before, so it's just like completely different territory that I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like to live that type of life. And it's like, I saw a tweet from Barack Obama on Twitter. He said that you're not born racist. You don't come out of the womb racist. What he was implying is everyone is born the same. You only become that way with the way that you were raised and the household you grew up in and stuff like that. So, more than likely, I don't know, you start out as a child, you learn that from your parents. Because your parents are going to have a huge impact on the way that you were raised and the way that you act and stuff like that. Another impact are going to be the children you go out to school with and stuff. And now we have the internet. The drama. Ugh. The drama.
Yeah, it's, as I said, when you have outlets to express yourself in any way, shape, or form, this is bound to happen.
It really, really is. And, alright, so PewDiePie was also talking about the neo-Nazis and whatever. He was saying that they look like him. He said, stop looking like me. He made a video saying that he's not going to joke around with the kind of jokes that he used to make and stuff like that. Even though they were just jokes, but the media just throws things and blows it way out of proportion, which is stupid. That's what the media does, though, because the media has nothing else better to do.
Not only that, but people are sensitive.
Yeah, they
oversensitive.
They really, really are. People really are oversensitive, but it's going to be to the point where no one is going to be safe. You're going to have somebody coming up. You like black people? Oh, you do. And you like white people? Oh, you do. You like Jews? Oh, you do. You like Asians? It's going to be crazy, man. But I think that, this is just me. I think that there's going to be more race issues with white supremacists than anything. White supremacists are crazy people. They really, really are.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what even sparked that. Because back in the era of Hitler, you didn't have white supremacists. You just had Nazis. And then I don't know how it just transpired to what we have now. It's like white supremacists are the stain on the underwear of life. We've just got to find the right solution to wash them off.
Well, in that regard, you have white supremacists playing the superiority complex, and you have Black Lives Matter playing the victim, and both sides are an issue. Until the day when we can stop seeing color and just start acknowledging one another as simply the same species, then problems can go away. Until then, nada, which will not end. So we will always have to deal with this. Hopefully not on this magnitude in about 20 years from now, but until then, we got to take a bunch of L's.
It's going to continue to happen. There's nothing we can do about it, Race is always going to be a huge thing. It's always been a huge thing. It doesn't make sense to me because, it doesn't matter to me. It's like I said, I don't care what you are,
Exactly.
Some people are just, they're just closed-minded, and they're really small individuals. Maybe they got beat too much by their mom and their dad when they were younger or something like that, or maybe they didn't get beat enough. But I don't know. It's not black, it's not white, it's American.
Yeah, and hence why America has some of the worst statistics in terms of education, crime rates. It's America, because we can't stand together. That's just the fact of the matter. Americans cannot stand together. I hate to admit that, being American myself, but we just can't.
And it's true. The reason is, well, this is what I think. The reason is because we have so much. Why do we need? Okay, why would little Timmy want to stand with little Bobby when he has his iPad? When he could just go onto a website or something. When you have let's talk about a third world country with nothing. They stand together because they are the only thing they have. When you are the only person that someone has, they're going to stand with you. In America, we have too much stuff to rely on friendship, familyship, and other relationships that we can acquire with human beings. Because why need a human being when you can have artificial intelligence?
Exactly.
Welcome to America.
Land of the free, and also the what's the word? The oversaturated with good things.
The oversaturated with good things, exactly, man.
If you have a roof over your head, man, I don't care if you don't have water. I don't care if you have electricity. If you have a roof over your head, man, you have more than a large majority of the world. So, hey, and I'm not trying to say that you don't have problems, but you need to always think about what's going on in other parts of the world.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. And it's like if our power grid was like just completely eliminated and all the power went out, so many people would just they would go crazy. And there would be a huge war. You have other countries out there that don't even know what power is. They don't know what electricity is. They're doing fine though. Do they? I mean, sometimes they probably dislike their life because of what's going on, but they're not out trying to kill each other. They're working together.
Exactly.
Other countries are more friendly toward each other than America is because of all the stuff we have. That's not everyone in America. That's only some of the people in America. A small percentage of America. That's how it is, and that's how it's always going to be, unless something happens. And the way unless what?
Unless something happens, that's exactly, and that something needs to be a union of everyone coming together. Everyone's using their voice. Not just one person, not just figures like Martin Luther King or figures like these billionaires, Bill Gates, using technology as a way to convey his message and help society. Or these very influential figures, they gain a following and they convey the information onto others, so then they can convey the information on, and so on and so on.
Very,
emotional
very
driven creatures, that's what we are. We're driven by emotion, not just words. Emotion. I need to feel something.
So many people don't have emotions, man. That's why some people can do really bad things and just not care about it, which is really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I'll admit some people do lack empathy, but it can also come down to them probably trying to lock their feelings away because of what society has done to them. And I honestly, when you're living in America, I don't blame you, man. You see so much messed up stuff, man.
Most definitely, man. It's all just, it's crazy. And it's like I always say this, and I said this before, I don't see the world getting better before I die. It's going to be a big poopy mess, and there's nothing we can do about it. Except sit back and say, I knew it, or I told you so, or what's happening? You know.
Big pooping mess. That's pretty much the best analogy.
Well, I mean, that's probably the only analogy I can give because I'm on YouTube right now. I mean, you know the stuff I would say if I wasn't on YouTube.
Yeah. But, you know, YouTube wants to be, bad words.
Well, it's all good, you know. I mean, I love the advertisers because the advertisers pay us and all that other stuff, so I will listen to the boss. So, until one day I am my own boss, which will happen. Okay, so, word to your mother. No. All right, this is basically this is going to be the end of the podcast, but okay, America, calm down, stop being, just get along, come on. I wish everyone would wake up blind. That's what I want. I want everyone in the world to be blind. Well, everyone in America to be blind. I want their eyesight to be gone for at least 3 hours. Just to see how you would act and to see the kind of panic that would go on. That would go on. I hope that when this happens also you can see things that you need to do to make your life better. Because sometimes you have to be blind to see clearly. That's just what I'm saying. So, is there anything you need to say, V, before we head out?
Nah, you pretty much summed it up. I will say this, though. Thank you once again for allowing me to be on the great E Proxy Games podcast. But no, seriously, it's been an honor. And I also need to thank the listeners because without you guys, come on, like, we'd just be sitting here on two big piles of poop, as a proxy would say, just rambling.
You're absolutely right, man. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast, just like always, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I want to thank you for actually taking time out of your night. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. Thank you for taking time out of your night to be on the podcast. I do appreciate it. And next time, we're going to have a little bit more information that we need about the topics. You know, I just had to throw this podcast together fast because I texted you about this podcast the other day.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that sparked the idea for bringing the podcast back is what's going on in Charlottesville. And of course, I knew that I had to get more topics together because I couldn't just have one topic. So next time it's going to be better put together, but hey, it was a good time anyway. It lasted over an hour. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, man. It was a pleasure.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you slap that like button with your eye, your knee, your foot, all that good stuff. Make sure you share it also. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll subscribe back to you. Make sure you subscribe to VeeNobu. Go on my page. You'll see his page over to the right side of my page. Click on his page and subscribe. So, until tomorrow, Ravers, take care of yourself. Sleep reckless. And I'll see you next time. Unless I die. Then I won't.
Oh, no.
Goodbye!